Welcome everybody to the British Baseball Federation TV. We're broadcasting live from Farnham Park in the United Kingdom, and we're going to be showcasing some of the top teams from all around Europe that have come here to provide a great tournament, and they've been here for 2 days. My name is Jerry, and as you can see, a little bit of a background of London, the heart and soul of baseball in Europe for this lovely week with the London series coming up. We're very glad to welcome 13 different countries, Major League Baseball, and we have some of the best skilled athletes that are going to be showcasing their baseball prowess to Major League scouts from every Major League Baseball team here in attendance, as well as to you here on BBF TV.
Okay, so that was a ground ball to the third baseman. That's a 5-3 putout. Up next is a gentleman from the Czech Republic named Člup, number 27. He's a designated hitter today. Pitching for the blue team, we've got a Hernandez, a right-hander. We got a pitch. It's a little low, looked like a fastball. So Hernandez, the right-handed pitcher on the hill, got an easy delivery.
And number 27 here has a nice tall stance, and have the scouts with their jug guns here taking a gauge of the pitcher's velocity behind the home plate. There's our next pitch, and a fly ball out to deep right. Our right fielder going back, the wind catching it. He turns the wrong way, but the ball goes out to the cutoff man, and we have the batter trying to three, slides in for a triple.
Nice hit. Right-handed batter hitting the ball, slicing over the right fielder's head towards the foul pole. The outfielder got turned around a little bit. As we have that little field in the back, it's probably not so easy on the footing, but it's a pretty sharply hit ball. Remember, the wind is blowing sort of left to right here, so that put a little sharper edge on the ball.
And for those of you not being able to see, you had all the scouts out there with their stopwatches taking a gauge of the speed of the batter around the bases. All these metrics are really important for their assessment of each player.
The batter for the red team here, adjusting Castillo. So this is a very interesting story, Jerry. He's Venezuelan born, he lives in Spain, and he plays for a league in Germany. And here he finds himself at a Major League Elite tournament.
And a big swing and a miss for a strike.
He's described as a multi-tool player, middle infielder that can play multiple positions. Good agility, good hands, good sense for the ball.
And here's our pitch. A little bit low and inside for a ball. And our pitcher starting out from the set position, trying to keep the runner on third a little bit close. Comes in for a set, and there's a pitch.
There's an off-speed pitch. That's a called third strike. Nice break on that ball by Mr. Hernandez there. That was okay.
So we have an out there. On a backward K, and for those keeping score, a backward K in your scorebook means that it's a strike looking.
We have a young Italian guy, a Mr. Bertozzi, who's playing right field for the red team today, batting cleanup. Takes a big cut at a high fastball. That was something a bit high 80s, ladies and gentlemen who are watching back home.
And it really is a great day here out in Farnham Park. However, it is, like Anthony said, the wind is swirling and giving a little bit of break to our right fielder here that the ball got over. He played it as safe as he could, and he held it from inside park, and there's a foul ball down the third base line.
So the pitcher here is mixing speeds a little bit. That was an off-speed pitch. The previous foul ball was a pop fly on a fastball, or a pop foul ball on a fly ball. We've got 2 outs with the runner on third. Let's see if the gray team can get out of the inning with no damage.
And here's the pitch. That's a little
Ooh,
bit high for a ball. And taking a little bit of some insights from our scouts, what they're looking for here is the athleticism of these athletes, starting from the ground up. Good baseball stance, athletic position. A couple of questions that we had for the scouts earlier. What are you looking for? A good baseball player, good athlete? And they all said we're starting off with a good athlete. That's the foundation. In order for him to develop, with the great coaching around the world today, they believe that they could take a great athlete and make him into a better baseball player.
High fastball, foul back. Batter didn't miss by much. Good placement by the pitcher. So you're absolutely right, Jerry. They're looking for the pitches. They're looking for strikes. They're looking for velocity and looking for the ability to control the ball, but also have an easy delivery.
And there's a foul ball. And for today's game, the rules are they're primarily going to keep an eye on the pitchers. That means their pitchers have a pitch count. If those pitch counts are exceeded, they'll be changing pitchers in and out. They'll be substituting as well. And they'll be moving the game along as they want to save these pitchers' arms as they return back to their countries and their local teams or national teams.
I think you're going to hear the phrase, Jerry, rolling innings, and that's going to be some innings may end without 3 outs or with X amount of runs. It's the idea to keep the game moving and make sure everybody gets their work in, but also nobody gets too much work in.
And there's our batter with another foul ball and really working this pitcher.
This is the 8th or 9th pitch in this at-bat. We've got quite a battle going on here, Jerry.
It is a good showcase for the batter here to follow all these pitches. And let's see who wins this battle. Our pitcher here or number 11 from Italy.
Slop takes his lead at third.
Big breaking pitch here for
Drop,
a
third ball strike. And out of the inning.
Out number 3.
I know it sounds slightly paradoxical that the gray team has a pitcher with the blue shirt on, but such is life. Remember, this is more of a showcasing event than a proper game, if you will.
And as we take a break in the action here, we'll go a little bit about the field. Down the left field line, we've got 330 feet. Center field is 400. Right field is 360, if my eyes are correct. And we have a skinned infield, all natural grass. All the dimensions are major league from the plate to the backstop. We have a outfield warning track as well as for all the surrounding fences.
And folks, you'll notice that the right field is a little bit deeper because there's trying to be as space efficient and utilizing the field as much. There's a little league field out there in right field, so it's going to be a little tricky for the right fielder, but we're doing the best we can.
And today we're joined by 4 of the British Baseball Federation umpires. We have a lot of experience behind the plate as well as on the bases, and we're very grateful for their contribution to umpiring throughout this elite baseball tournament.
No, I tell you what, it's a big honor for the umpires to be able to ump this caliber of game as well. So I think it's a win-win all around. So this young lad on the mound for the red team is a young Dutch guy by the name of Stewart. Pretty sound mechanically. Doesn't throw quite as hard as the right-hander for the gray team. We're looking forward to see what he's got. Now leading off for the gray team, we have a gentleman, a Dutch kid, Collins. Remember, the Dutch have 19 kids here, Jerry, so they can't all be on one team. So you're going to have some of the Dutch guys from all over the country playing against each other, but I'm sure that they'll give lots of bragging rights when they get back home.
And again, we can't say enough about Major League Baseball making a great investment in British baseball by bringing over all their expertise leading up to the London series, which will showcase the New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox. And Anthony, you going to be out there?
I'm going. I'm going to be down there tomorrow for Media Day. I'm hoping to do a few interviews. They'll be on the BBF blog, I hope. And we got a ground ball to second. fielded cleanly. Boy, I tell you, the batter made a heck of a run down to first base. It's a 4-3 putout, but he wasn't out by much. That's good athleticism right there.
And again, the scouts just keep bringing out those stopwatches and marking down for their records every little movement, every little bit of side notes of each one of these great athletes.
Another Dutch guy, Legito, from the Netherlands. He's a right-handed hitter, number 1, batting now. So a more Dutch on Dutch activity here, Jerry.
As we see, and we see that a lot of these batters do sit way back in the batter's box here. They try to take a couple of extra looks at that pitch, as some of these pitchers are being clocked close up to 90 miles an hour.
No, this is when you get something approaching mid-80s to 90, you're starting to really attract the major league scouts, and you're starting to transition from that. He's a good athlete. He's a young developing kid. He enjoys the game to really honing his skills.
And that's a ball on the inside corner.
It looked like a changeup on the inside corner there. That was close.
And let's go back here to the action, and our batter here with a nice tall bat and getting ready to take the pitch.
There we go. There's a strike. Nice pitch.
And our pitcher working the corners.
And you'll notice this pitcher has an easy delivery, right? So the scouts like that because obviously they're worried about a lot of injuries for arms these days and overthrowing. So.
And we can't say enough about our counterparts over there in the Netherlands. Dutch baseball has been just an example of great development and work throughout the country. I've had the pleasure of living in the Netherlands, seeing it firsthand. There's over 65 fields throughout the country, and some of the top athletes that go on to be drafted come from the Netherlands, from all over the world to play in fantastic country and a fantastic program from our counterparts over at Dutch baseball.
Well, you wouldn't think that when you think of the Dutch, you might think of Andrelton Simmons, who plays for the Angels, who's from the Dutch Antilles. But if you go all the way back to the 1960s, 1970s, Jerry's Bert Blyleven, he was one of the original Dutchmen, throwing the curveball, 288 wins, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So you're going to find that the Dutch team and the Italian team have the most pedigree here and most history in baseball, and they're competing every day and still putting major league prospects on the field.
And as we return back to the action here, Anthony, we've got number 20.
This is a gentleman by the name of Mensik, a big right-handed hitter from the Czech Republic.
And he takes a pitch there with a runner on first base. With a left-handed pitcher, he's holding on the runner, which is just called timeout to fix the ground around first base. And for those aficionados out there, you've got a half circle which extends about 13 feet from first base, and the pitcher is keying off of that half circle how far the base runner is. And there's a ground ball off of the batter's bat. Little dribbler out in front of the plate where the catcher throws to first. However, the runner at first advances to second. So nice job on that batter.
But I tell you what, in the development sense, if you look at the catcher for the red team, what you saw was quick reaction. You saw a good route to the ball. You saw him pivot his body to pick up the ball and step and throw. That was a real high-quality play by the catcher. I know on the offensive side, you'd refer to that as a productive out.
And our next batter here, Anthony?
It's a fella from Spain, Rodriguez.
And again, to our counterparts over the Spanish national governing body, all good things. Some of our local teams here do exchange a lot of information as well as go on and play over at Spain, as they're invited throughout Spain. And considering the good weather, you have some of the British baseball teams at the youth level, especially going down to the Canary Islands as well as up north to Lyon. So from the British baseball community, we only have good things to say about our counterparts in the Spanish NGB.
Very good point, Jerry. So it's 2 off-speed pitches to this big right-hander now. So interesting to see that they're already starting to scout these players.
And there's a line drive to the first baseman for out number 3.
So Jerry,
and no
we had off
damage.
speed, off speed, fastball, little late on the swing, soft line out to the first baseman. We're out of the first inning with a 0-0 score. Jerry, what's your impressions on the talent level so far?
I'll tell you what, we were fortunate enough to see them warm up in the bullpen as well as taking some batting practice. And these athletes are big for their age. They are very athletic and skilled. And as one of our earlier guests said, they were quite impressed. So am I. Of the 90 athletes that are attending today, their skill level is as high as it's ever been for international baseball, and we're very proud to host our European athletes here at Farnham Park.
I think one of the MLB guys in one of your early interviews, Jerry, said that there was 4 or 5 players who'd already been signed. There's another 10 or 15 players who are playing high-level college baseball or some entry-level baseball. I know there's two guys here who are playing for North Carolina State, which is a pretty high Group 1. So I think what you're having is you got some MLB talent, you got some high college prospects, and then you've got everyone else seeing all the better talent, and the game is improving all the time.
That's correct, Anthony, and we have a lot of players coming in from all over the world to be a part of this, and we're very appreciative of all of these fine athletes showcasing their skill sets, and we'll have to say thank you to the parents making the trip over here to Great Britain.
I'm very excited that we have umbrellas out for the sun in England. You don't have that very often.
And it looks like we're returning back to the action here with our left-handed hitter. So Mr. takes a big swing on the inside and missed that breaking pitch.
Mr. Dela Cruz with a bit of an offset batting stance. His front foot slightly angled towards first base, a little different than most.
And there's a big string for strike number 2.
Shortstop.
So as we wait for the pitch, and on the third pitch, there's a foul ball, so our batter very aggressive at the plate.
It's always one of those things, Jerry. You hear a lot about trying to pitch counts and walking and on-base percentage, and yet I always think in a funny way, the only way to learn how to hit is to swing the bat.
And as you can see in the bullpen, we have our next pitcher warming up as we return back to the action, and our pitcher getting ready for the delivery. And there's a ground ball second.
Nice, easy 4-3 play. Good side-to-side movement by the second baseman there. Track the ball right off the bat.
And as you can see here on our replay, our batter getting ready for the pitch. And as he hits the second base, we're looking at his speed, as you can see, above normal speed. And speaking to the scouts, that was one thing that really stood out about the batter. And as we turn back to our second left-handed batter on the day, number 21.
Mr. Kops.
Mr. Kops takes a strike on the inside corner. And returning back to the action here, we see our pitcher, which remains in the set position with no runners on. And what do you think about that, Anthony? Pitchers with no base runners from the set. Usually old school was wind up with nobody on and set with runners on.
I get the two schools of thought. One is that the wind up, it's you get more momentum behind it, and from the setup you get better repeatability on your pitches. I think it's a personal choice. I think the players now are so strong. It's more about comfort level. I could just say from my own son, he pitches better from the wind up than the stretch, but it's a personal preference.
And there's a pitch that goes back to background. As the camera pans here, you can see the umbrellas out. And for those watching, it is not raining out here. Those are umbrellas to protect them from the sun.
And Jerry, that is a big deal here in the UK. If you get a sunny day and the umbrellas out, that's good news.
And here we have June, which usually the sun sets late, with sun setting down after 9 o'clock.
Now this kid, Mr. Kops, he has been reported by Max to be probably the fastest guy here in the 60-yard dash. So when he puts the ball in play, I think we're going to see a lot of speed. Coach is very high on this kid.
And there's a ball that goes back to the background, and he takes first base. So we may be able to see his speed in action here.
Well, it could be fun to see if he takes off. See if he'll challenge the catcher.
And as we turn back to the action here, we have the middle infielder signaling who's taking the ball if the runner steals.
Now this young lad up at the plate, the left-hander, is Ismail Pontiac. He's from France, and coach is very high on this kid.
And the other thing that I've noticed here is the baseball pants, Anthony. As you can see, the new modern style in the pitcher, pants all the way down to the ankles, and then we have our batter, old school.
I go with the old school. I think Ismail's got the look here, and I wonder if those blue socks are part of the French flag. I don't know.
Well, he's got Anthony's heart there, so we'll see how he does here.
Let's have a look at this runner on first base and see if he's prepared to take off.
And there's a ground ball to the first baseman, but it's called foul as the batter returns back to the batter's box and our runner back to first base.
So you have a fast athlete on first base. The coaches are looking to see if he's taking a good enough secondary lead, and is he reading the pitcher well. Simultaneously, defensively on the catcher, the game is the catcher the pitcher and the catcher doing enough to slow down the runner. So there's quite a lot going on here behind the scenes. It doesn't seem like a lot's going on, but believe me, there's a lot going on.
And as we return back, there's a foul ball, and previous to that screen, you saw our next pitcher, a left-hander, warming up in the bullpen as we're trying to get all the pitchers here for game number 1.
Yeah, and as you said, Jerry, there's a pitch count for every pitcher, and they're going to try and do their utmost to get the players in.
And as we return back to the action, the pitcher throws, and there's another foul ball to the first base side, returning back to the action.
Almost an exact replica of the swing 2 swings ago. I'm impressed with the composure of all the players. I guess they've been playing all week, and they're all settled in. Really seem to have as a group, I'd say both teams have a lot of poise on the field.
And that's a very good point, Anthony. When you have great athletes that travel around, it's not necessarily just their skill set, but it's their emotional intelligence of how do they handle themselves in front of foreign people, how they handle themselves on and off the field. Those are parts that the scouts are also looking for if you need maturity to progress, and that is an important variable that a lot of people don't consider.
Off-speed offering on that last pitch, and that was very, very close.
And as we return back to the action here in sunny Farnham Park, 23 Celsius with a small breeze coming down from the left field side, and there's our pitcher throwing to first base, keeping our base runner tight to first base, considering that he is, right, Anthony, the fastest person on the field.
Correct. And so that throw over there was just letting them know that they know. And here he goes.
And
run.
There's a base hit to the right side that goes to the right fielder, and our base runner advances to third base. So we have a first and third situation as the ball comes back to the pitcher.
Jerry, beautiful baseball, right? The manager calls for a hit and run. The batter needs to put the bat in play. The runner steals, draws the second baseman towards the second baseman bag, and the ball rolls right behind him. That runner with the jump, standing up at third base, didn't even have to slide. Great execution. This is a young Italian lad, Fasano, who's playing third base for the red team today.
And our kudos over to the Italian national governing body as the NGP of the sport. They've also done a fantastic job of developing baseball. Italy.
A wonderful complex down in Grosseto, Italy, for you fans back home. It's fantastic.
And there's a pitch. Foul ball.
All right, so we got 2 strikes on our young Italian lad here. And runners in scoring position, really want to be able to get that run across. Let's see how it plays.
And the situation here is first and third. That looked like strike number 3.
Strike 3, foul tip caught. So high level play by the catcher on that. I think the batter was a little bit confused whether it did or didn't.
Actually, it is the umpires have now said that there's a little bit of a conference here.
Either a foul tip or it hit him. That's what they're trying to discuss now.
And they're assessing, but they conclude that yes, it was strike 3. after a foul tip was caught by the catcher. And
Great poise by the catcher on that.
Here's the coach coming out to just try to get interpretation. So we have our next batter, number 15. Who is he, Anthony?
Number 15. He's Lorenzo Moresi. He is the catcher from Italy.
And he hits the ball to the second baseman, which makes a routine play to get out number 3, and no runs are scored that inning.
So in hindsight, that strikeout, third ball, foul tip catch by the catcher proved to be a pivotal play. Those are things I think that the coaches and the scouts are going to be keeping an eye on.
So getting ready for the London series, Anthony, what are you looking for when you go over there?
Well, I'm just looking for to enjoy the moment. We've both done a lot of baseball here in the UK, and just to get there and see the game, see how they've done the field, just be there as a fan to enjoy it. I think Major League Baseball has really rolled out the carpet. I don't think they could have brought a better series. The Yankees and the Red Sox is the oldest and best rivalry we have, and they're following it up with, well, arguably as good a rivalry, which is the Cubs and the Cardinals next year. So I think what you can say about MLB is that they're trying to do it right, and I think it's resonating here with the public.
And again, around the grounds, we have all sorts of events taking place. For those of you that don't have tickets, please go out to London Stadium. Fantastic stadium that holds over 55,000. However, for the London series, the stadium has been set up to hold approximately just under 55,000. And Major League Baseball for over a month now has had imported groundskeepers work with the London Stadium groundskeeping team to make it a phenomenal stadium for baseball. And some insights there. We have an artificial turf at London Stadium for this 2-day series. The Boston Red Sox will be the home team, and the fences will be brought in somewhat to accommodate for the configuration and architecture there at London Stadium. So we should see some good home runs there from the Yankees and Red Sox, Anthony. So looking for a great experience when we go over to watch the London series. And as we resume back to the act,
Sorry about that, Jerry. We wanted to double check the number of this pitcher. So it's Lucas Holk, which is a right-handed pitcher from the Czech Republic, and he is described as having some of the best power of all the pitchers in this elite camp. Big, tall kid, 6'6", with a big curve.
And we have out number 1. There was a pop-up on that last batter to the first baseman, and our pitcher is resuming back on the mound. He's going into the windup. Tall pitcher getting ready, and there's the pitch. And that's bounced in for ball number 2.
Well, it's always a challenge. You try and throw an off-speed pitch, come back with a fastball. You've got arm angle, release points. Got a lot of things to try and replicate, which is not that easy.
And there's a high fastball, and the batter swings and misses for a strike.
This is another Frenchman, Jimenez, who's up at plate for the gray team. Right-handed batter. Very athletic physique.
And there's the pitch. And that's strike number 3 for out number 2.
Lucas looked very good on that sequence of pitches. Coming up for the gray team, number 46, Zelenka from the Czech Republic. Now, Jerry, I bet you don't know that the Zelenka brothers are here. I got confused because there was Zelenka pitching and there's Zelenka catching. And it turns out they're brothers.
There you go, Anthony. Good insight here for the fans watching us.
It's a fastball a little high. So good. I think we have a power bat and a power arm squaring off here. First pitch from the pitcher was a fastball high. Let's see what he goes for now. See what the call is. Fastball low and inside.
And foul ball back to and again, for those of you joining us, this is the Major League Baseball Elite Development Camp with 90 teen athletes from all over Europe. 13 countries represented today and showcasing their talent from the 25th starting day. And today it ends.
2 fastballs from the pitcher and followed by an off-speed pitch. So we got a 2-1 count. We'll see what the offering is here.
And for those watching, there in the background, you see the scouts with their jug guns taking notation. Again, every major league team is represented here at Farnham Park on this lovely showcase day of the top 90 teams in European baseball.
The scouts are excited to talk to them. Ooh, terrific curveball on that one. Terrific. Now we have a first baseman for the gray team, Take.
And we have a little break in the action there as our umpire's refilling his ball bag.
Beautiful day here at Farnham Park, Joe. We've been here on some rainy days. This isn't one of them.
And a great feel.
Pitch number 1, wheels and deals. Ooh, nice off-speed pitch on that one.
As you can see there, the catcher holding it there, framing it for the umpire. However, not enough to get the umpire to call a strike.
Spot on with the fastball. Didn't miss much by the curveball on pitch number 1.
And my count here has it that there's more players out here with the old-timers baseball pants, Anthony, so they're leaning your way.
Ooh, beautiful pitch. No, Jerry, I mean, these young ones like to wear the long pants covering the ankles and all that sort of stuff, and, you know, back in my day, we didn't even have sliding pants. You know.
And there's a ball on the ground, nicely blocked by our catcher, and he appeals to the umpire.
I think the ump made the right call on that. So I had 2 strikes on the batter, tried the curveball. What does this set up, Jerry? Fastball low and inside?
I think it's going to go outside here. Let's see what we got here. I think he has positioned himself out there, low and away. And there's the pitch. It's low.
Good spot.
Ball.
At this level of play, the pitching coaches are talking to the pitchers about eyesight, about putting the ball low, putting the ball high, hitting the corners, not leaving it over the plate. You know, really using, you know, not being predictable on the mound, not having your sign stolen. You know, lots of the finer points of the game being worked on at this tournament.
And there's a foul ball on the right side, and I believe they're all using wooden bats too, Anthony, unless I am mistaken. They're only using wooden.
And this I like. I like the old school. I like the wooden bats. These composite bats, the ball keeps going.
And as we return back to the action for our fans out there, here's a foul ball back, and our battalion there of scouts just watching it by as they are fixated on the metrics of how long did it take.
Well, that's a major league foul ball, I'll tell you that. That wasn't just over the fence. That was over the fence by a country mile.
So here's our pitch in the windup, and the pitch low and away for ball number 4, and we've got a runner on first.
So we have another young Dutchman by the name of Trump, who's will be squaring off against his other Central European foe from the Czech Republic.
And I like this batter. Earlier up, taking some batting practice. Good batter, makes good contact, and tough as nails. So
good pitch from the stretch by Lucas on the mound. He's also going to have to take a moment to check that runner. So this is the second time, Jerry, we see the runners trying to maneuver that dirt by first base.
And that's a little bit unprecedented, that game is stopped for the base runner to fix the dirt to run first base. However, it's always firsts.
2 strikes on Trump. The wind is howling a little bit here, folks, so just bear with us. 2 strikes on the batter, holding the runner. Comes set. Here comes the pitch.
We turn back to the action. And there's the ground ball to second baseman. They can't turn the force out at second, so he throws the first for out number 3.
Nice hitting by that power arm from the Czech Republic. And you saw as the inning went on, he started to be able to, his fastball's live enough, he could control that, and his off-speed offerings got better as the inning went along. I think the coaches would be quite happy with that. Here's Darren Mueller.
And throughout the broadcast, Anthony will be pulling in some VIPs and attending others. So we hope to get some feedback from almost everybody here.
I was really happy to have had an interview with Tony Reagans from Major League Baseball Youth Development and former general manager of the Angels. I follow the Angels a lot because I'm an Angel fan, and real classy guy. Nice to have him on board, and no doubt he's making an impact at the youth level, which quite honestly, that's what sport's all about.
So as we turn back to the action here, we see a little bit of a wind gust. And a beautiful sunny day here at Farnham Park, 23 Celsius. Everyone enjoying a lovely day of baseball, brought to you by Major League Baseball, MLB's Elite European Tournament, Farnham Park.
And what we have here is we have the Zelenka brothers joining together in a pitcher-catcher duo from the Czech Republic. Left-handed pitcher, which is by the coaching staff here. I had a double check. I think I've said this already, but I think I had to double check twice about how many Zelenkas there were, but I think we figured it out. So the game today is not about innings. It's not about pitches. It's more about time and trying to get the players enough chance to get their reps in. I think we're heading to the bottom of the third now, and there's a nothing score so far. We've seen the pitchers consistently throw strikes. We've seen a few good hits. We've seen a good hit and run executed by the red team. Yeah, kids are playing ball. It's fun to see. So the leadoff batter here is Pitinella, one of the larger leadoff hitters I think I've ever seen, number 41. Big, muscular-looking athlete playing first base for the red team. Zelenka to Zelenka here from the Czech Republic on the gray team. Off-speed offering for ball 1. Batter digs in. Pitcher gets a sign. Bounces it home. So for a left-handed pitcher, we don't have much of a leg kick. It's almost more of a slide step. Easy motion. It was try to have a curveball on that last pitch. So 2 balls, no strikes on the batter. Hitters count. Ground ball to short. 6-3. So the pitcher got his pitch. He got the fastball, but Zelenka kept it low. And the shortstop, while backing up on that ball at the last second, it was hit hard enough, and his arm is strong enough to make that 6-3 putout. Number 27, another Czech Republic, Chlup. So he'll know these Zelenka brothers and their wily ways. I'm going to guess by the physical physique that the Zelenka on the mound is a younger brother to Zelenka behind the plate. Plenty athletic looking, crafty lefty. Two fastballs low. He was 2-0 on the last batter and had to come with a pitch, and he got away with it with Petronilla. There's a nice curveball for a strike on that, so we got 2 balls and 1 strike on the right-hander from the red team. Slightly different arm angle on that. 3 balls, 1 strike. Schlupp is going to be looking fastball here. And he gets it. Nice pitch, well executed. Batter had the hold sign on that. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bit of a payoff pitch. Now 1 out here. 3-2 count. Nice off-speed offering. Crafty lefty. A lot of composure. Get some spin on the ball. Nice arm angle. No doubt he feels a bit comfortable knowing his brother's behind the plate. He lost the angle on that one. Schlupp gets a walk. And now we're bringing up the 3-hitter, Castillo, for the red team, who's also playing second base. Scoreless game at top of the 4th. I think it's top of the 3rd, top of the 4th. Runner goes, hit and run, fly ball to right field, catches, hustled it into second base. Nice play. It looked like there was a hit and run on that play. If it had been a ground ball, the runner would have been safe at second. But the left fielder settled under it and fired the ball in quickly. Runner returns to first, 2 down. Up for the red team, number 11. Bertozzi from Italy, also playing right field. So our young lefty here is step by step managing to get through the inning. And I've been corrected by my technical team. It's top of the 3rd. Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. Great work by the camera crew today. We have a lot of great angles. We got 5 cameras here. Lots of video replay. So looks some fantastic coverage. Thank you. Here go. Surprised on that one. The pitcher had the runner leaning on that one. Would have been a time for a pickoff play. If he does that again, I imagine they're going to try and see if they can't pick him off. Pitcher checks the runner. Back pick. And got him. Hot dog. That's a high quality play right there. That's one Zelenka brother helping out the other. But we talked about that runner leaning towards second, and he didn't get picked off by the pitcher, but he got picked off. Let's see this replay. Wow, look at that play. Nice throw by the catcher. Good reaction time. Smooth tag. Sweeping tag by the first baseman. Really high quality baseball there. Just goes to show at this level, for you folks watching at home, you know, if you lean one way, you lean the wrong way, you're not paying attention, you're a half a step or a quarter step not in the right position, the skill at this level is so high, you can't afford to make a mistake. So you really have to be disciplined in your approach. New pitcher for the red team. Marek Chlup. .6'3", 225, plays a bit of outfield, and they're going to give him a shot pitching today. And I'd say by his warm-up here, he's got plenty of juice in the arm to make an impact. So on the one hand, they're going to be checking velocity and ability to command the mound, but also they're going to give him a try. He's an outfielder by trade. And remember, a lot of these players haven't found their position yet. So it's places like this or tournaments like this where some of these players get to try different things. And you'll see as he's warming up on the mound that his off-speed stuff is, well, let's just call it a work in progress. Let's see how he does once the inning starts. Okay, how's that? All right. So Bruno, the skinny catcher from Italy, or a skinny catching project, who's DHing today, is at the plate. Little low offering, ball one. Lefty wheels and deals. Looks like Bruno took it in the foot. And the pitcher's just going to try and find his way through here now. So now we're top of the order for the gray team. Number 23 for the gray team. Runner takes a good lead at first. Lefty's going to have to check him, which he does. A little low to the backstop. Runner takes a nice turn, hustles back to second. So I think what we have here is we have an outfielder taking his turn at pitching. They just want him to get some reps, want to see how he handles it, see if he can control the strike zone, etc. So there's a pass ball back to the backstop. Runner takes third. Little meeting. I think the pitcher and the catcher got crossed up on that last pitch. The catcher didn't seem to know which pitch was coming. At this level of baseball, with this level of velocity, these things can happen. Pitcher deals. Inside. Now, the left-hander doesn't traditionally check the runner at third the way he would check the runner at first because his back's to him. But it does give him a nod. There we go. Nice pitch for a strike. Nothing like throwing that first strike to calm you down. Slight herky-jerky delivery. A lot of moving parts, a lot of moving at the head. That was a walk to the gray team batter, number 23. Up is number 13. Just Darnell Collins. Darnell Collins got a brother who plays in the Kansas City Royals organization. And the coaches are very high on him as a potential, as an improving player. Pitcher checks the runner at first. So lefty on lefty batter. The runner's going to try and optimize here and make sure he can take that base if he can. So big challenge for the catcher. And he goes. Little high. Throwing him out down there. Ooh. Terrific play. So for those watching at home, the call on that, they knew the runner was going to try and score from third. They used the runner going first to second as bait. And the shortstop came in, intercepted the ball, and it was supposed to be, yes, that was a score. And that was going to be a bang-bang play at the plate, which the runner beat it by a nose. So well done to the gray team on that. And not badly executed by the red team, very close. Runner goes from second to third. Safe. So when the coaches get the pitcher in the dugout, they're going to start talking about the little things you need to do to slow down the running game. So you've had 2 stolen bases in a row. The gray team taking maximum advantage. Fastball for a strike, for a foul ball rather. Leo Jiminian. Multiple tools. They like him as an outfielder. They like him as a pitcher. He's on the mound for the red team. Below. Nice play. Very high quality play by the first baseman to the catcher to get the tag out at home plate. Nice play there. No, the runner was out at home. Sorry, I'm talking to my technical team. So that was an out. 1 run in on the inning. So now back to the pitcher and the battle between the batter and the pitcher and the battle with the runner on first. Decent lead. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Best one yet by the pitcher. The UK is so excited to have Major League Baseball here, have these players here. It's really going to give a boost to the sport. Great fastball. The London series, I think it's going to be sold out. Everybody in baseball circles that I talked to was so excited to be there. Everything from God Save the Queen to hot dogs to got him. Got him. Picked the runner off of first base. 2 good plays by the red team so far. Getting the tag out at home. Let's watch this replay. See, the runner's going to take a step off. And the interesting thing about that, folks, is you've seen 2 or 3 runners start to try and smooth out that dirt. So they're going back to the dugout to say that dirt around first base is a little bit soft because he lost his footing, and that's the fraction of a second why he got tagged out. Nice play by the red team. So 2 outs now for the gray team. See if the red team can get out of this inning with only 1 run. So I think the coaches would say they have a terrific athlete on the mound who's got all the tools. He needs the time and the reps to get better. Slicing ball to right field. Right field is under it. Well done. Can you hear me now? Okay, folks, I'm back with you. Going through a few technical instructions for me here, not by the technical team, but by me. But we're getting there. We had the microphone switched around. So new pitcher, number 17. Number 17 for the gray team is Allesandro Ercolini. Allesandro is most certainly an Italian lad. 6 foot, 176 pounds. Right-hander. As Jerry says, he's old school. He's got the high socks on. I thoroughly approve of that. And a pitch. Fastball for a strike. High leg kick from Ercolini. Up for the red team. Number 11, Ricardo Bertozzi. Texas-bound kid, going to play some college ball there. Thick, I would say, not as tall as the pitcher. Thick, very athletic looking. From a scouting perspective, they say he's got plenty of tools. Smooth player. The pitcher wheels and deals. Nice off-speed pitch. Pitcher wins that battle. Center fielder in, nice play. Little windy here at Farnham Parks, folks. So all these fly balls are not gimmies, but these outfielders know what they're doing. Let's watch that. Curveball off the bat. Winner. The pitcher wins the battle, and the center fielder settles under it. There's one out. 2 pitches, 2 strikes for Ercolini right now. Left-handed batter up for the red team. Takes a breath, the pitcher does, and here it comes. Nice. Aggressive leg kick and sneaky fast. Nice arm angle. I tell you what, it's very deceptive. He hides the ball well. The coaches are going to like what they see from this pitcher. Laguito. Oh. Sorry for that. Number 6. Kevin Fermin de la Cruz, Dominican player playing in Switzerland, is up at bat. This young Italian guy is a strike throwing machine. It's his 5th or 6th pitch and nothing but strikes. Pitcher digs in, takes a breath, as does the batter. checks his sign. Here we go. Very, very close. The catcher really wanted that one. He was waiting for the call behind him to chuck that ball down to third base for the third call strike. Not the first ball, but very close. So a big year for baseball in general. Not only do you have the London series, but all these boys, here comes a pitch. All these players are playing for their national teams, playing in their local leagues. You've got always tryouts or thinking about the next World Baseball Classic. You've got the Olympics coming. They're all going to be viable, maybe a bit young, maybe right in the mix to have a roster spot or be part of that situation. And believe me, it's very exciting for any young player to be playing baseball anywhere in the world right now. Off-speed pitch for a ball. Now it gets a little challenging for the pitcher. He's close on everything. That off-speed pitch was out of the strike zone, and now he's got to come back and throw a strike. Looks like a low fastball outside. Ooh, very close. You know, at the London series, the Washington Nationals will do they call it the President's Race, where they'll have actors in costumes running around the field and racing. They're going to do the same. They did a poll on social media, and they're going to have Winston Churchill, ooh, fly ball to left field, sinking, fair ball. Going to go into second, left-hander spins the other way. Ooh, great play. Wait till we see that on replay, gentlemen. That is a fantastic play. For you folks back home, when we get this replay, you watch how the left fielder comes in and fields that ball, turns his body, and fires a strike. This is a good piece of hitting. And the batter's off. He knows it's fair. He's not taking any prisoners. We're going to watch. Here comes the ball. The outfielder spins and throws. Boom. Slide tag. Great play. Believe me, when you're a pitcher and you get that, you're a happy pitcher. Pitch low by Ercolini for a strike. My colleague Jerry's back with us now. I caught the fact that he twisted the microphones before, but I'm back in action now. 2 outs for the.
So I take a little break there, Anthony, trying now to get some insights from the people attending here. We've got people from all over 13 different countries from Europe. In addition, other parts of Europe. So we've been very happy with the turnout today.
What's the mood from the fans and the people that you talked to?
Well, quite surprised about the temperatures here. Not expecting that. And neither were we, to be frank.
We've lived here too long, Jerry.
Exactly. And ironically, on Saturday, it looks like it may be one of the hottest days of the year for game number 1 of the London series, with an estimated 30 Celsius projected by game time.
Ball up the middle. Shortstop made a nice play in the gap. That was a terrific play by the Korea team. Well done. We'll be back, take a short break, and right back at you.
And as we have a little break in the action here, we welcome everybody to keep an eye out for different types of broadcasts over the radio, over the internet, as well as TV of the London series. That starts on Saturday evening and runs through Sunday. And from all indications, the Yankees, the Red Sox have landed in London and are getting acclimated to the time, weather, the food, and expected to go over to London Stadium within the next 24 hours to take batting practice starting tomorrow with MLB's workout day, closed to the public, starting at 1 o'clock, and media day. We are fortunate that we will be there on MLB workout day. And in between, we are here at Farnham Park, overseeing this great development tournament hosted by MLB. This is game 1 of a 2-game series. Later this afternoon, approximately around 16 BST. We expect the other players that are not participating in this game to take part. We'll be broadcasting here all day from lovely Farnham Park. We'd like to extend our gratitude for all of those watching us. And we excuse ourselves with so many players being substituted in between. We don't have too much of a headline of when these substitutes happen, who they are. So we are a little bit in catch-up mode, so our apologies in advance. However, we'll do our best in order to bring you live coverage here of Game 1, the MLB Elite Development Tournament from Farnham Park.
So we've got a Peter Bonilla from Spain, a 6-foot left-hander, 168 pounds, on the mound for the red team. The gray team in the bottom of the 4th is leading 1-0, and there's 1 ball, no strikes on the batter. Batter digs in. Here's an offering. 1-1. The batter is the 3 batter for the gray team, Mensik from the Czech Republic. Mensik, the fielder for the batter for the Czech Republic, an infielder, looks bigger than his 6-foot 168 frame, as that's the same frame in theory of the pitcher. So be careful with the stats. Nice wind up by the lefty. Very close. Nice arm action. Good fastball. Slight lefty in terms of size, but plenty of zip. Deceptive with his pitches. That's the first curveball we've seen, and a walk. So the gray team's up 1-0. I know that this isn't about wins and losses, but at the same time, Jerry, they want to win.
A true showcase of the top 90 athletes for baseball, brought to you by Major League Baseball, all happening here at Farnham Park.
So we have 2 boys squaring off from Spain. We've got Rodriguez on the mound. Rodriguez at the plate and Bonilla on the mound. Sorry about that.
And as we have our batter with a tall bat taking a big cut for strike number 1.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see the runner at first base. They're all playing with the dirt over there. 1 runner got picked off already. It's tough against a left-hander to run. They're all digging in.
And again, for those of you joining us, you'll see that half circle at the extension part from first base. It's 13 feet. A couple rules there is when the base runner is outside of that circle. There's a ground ball to the third baseman, a little bit grounder to the third baseman, with throws to first. On a bounce, the batter is safe. First baseman throws to second, but the runner gets back. So
great scoop by the first baseman, and nice offhanded, off-balance throw by the third baseman. He got rid of it. It was about a quick release, which was fantastic.
So we have runners at first and second here. And bottom of the 4th, we have our pitcher. Oh, the runner at first was out. Anthony corrects me. My error. First broadcasting error. I'm sure there'll be more.
So the Frenchman Jimenez is at the plate, who's batting in the 5-hole. So predictably, you think there's some power there.
And we've got a runner at second base. Our second baseman holding him on just a little bit. Our base runner fake steals but gets back to second base. And the pitcher is ready to set position. Takes a good look at the runner at second, and there's a ground ball up the middle, off of the
Slow
pitcher,
roller.
and to first base, and the batter is out at first.
Well, I guess you can call that a productive out, but a heck of a play by the infield that way to make sure they got that ball to second, because Rodriguez is one of the faster guys here, multi-tool. Coaches love him. He really hustled down that line. That was good baseball, Jerry.
And as we turn back to the action here, we have number 46 up to bat. And I'll defer to Anthony with the rosters.
Well, this is Daniel Pasadchek. I hope I'm from the Czech Republic. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Certainly a big lad. Let's see.
And we have a runner at third base now.
6'4", 210 pounds. Padisek, I believe is his name. Sorry, Jerry.
And here's a pitch. High for ball number 1. And our pitcher here is in the set position with a runner on third, our lefty. Good velocity, good control. And from the lovely European country of Spain.
Jerry, talk a little bit about the Czech Republic and how they've improved over the last 5 or 10 years.
Well, a lot of kudos goes to our Czech NGB out there, which has done a great job of developing baseball all year round. They have developed a great indoor facility when they have inadequate weather. The players from a young age attend these academies where the players could practice on the weekends, sometimes during the week. And the conclusion is that it's been a great success, as the Czech Republic has produced some of the best European baseball players that have taken part in these tournaments throughout the years, as well as advanced to go compete internationally, attend United States high schools and colleges. And last but not least, going back to the action, we have a rundown, and the runner is out at first.
Base running blunder by the gray team. Tried to catch the red team napping with 2 outs. If this was a playoff game in the Red Sox Yankees, Jerry, they'd be screaming for the manager's head. But in a development game, the coach will take him to the side and no doubt explain in that situation that's not what we're looking for.
So as we turn back to the action here, going back to the Czech academies, have been very successful in producing some great athletes that are attending today's MLB Elite Tournament, as well as over the years. A lot of money, a lot of resources, and a lot of
Italian lad is on the hill.
And as we turn back to the action here, we're ready to start. At the top of the 5th. And our pitcher, with a big high leg kick, throws one for a ball.
Jerry, a high leg kick. Doesn't appear that ball's going to come out as fast as it does, but there's plenty of zip on that.
Good velocity here on our pitcher.
Absolutely.
But again, Anthony, you would like him because he's got those. There's a pop up to the left side, Texas leaguer, but it's going to be a foul ball. And again, Anthony's got a lot of aficionado to our pitcher here because of those baseball plants. Old school.
Old school, and hey, has with a last name like Darnell and Ercolini. Hey.
And Darnell Prego. So here we go, back to the action here, and our pitcher getting ready from, again, the set. Surprisingly, a lot of the players today, except for one pitcher, have started from the set. And there's some good fundamental baseball, as on strike 3, the ball gets away. The catcher goes into the foul territory, as well as setting up is the first baseman, so they're not in the lane of the runner running down to first base.
And given the choice, Jerry, he went arm side on that pitch, and the first baseman saw him move to the other side of the bag, caught the ball in foul territory. Subtle baseball play, high skill level.
And again, it all goes back to all of these players learning in their home country, and all those coaches back home in Europe. We'd like to extend our gratitude. You've done a fine job of developing these 9 players. Enough can't be said. Baseball developing throughout Europe at the grassroots levels, from coaches that have taken the helm at creating the next Major League Baseball prospects.
No, you can't say enough for what nice kids they are, nice young men, and the skill level. No matter what their journeys are in life, whether it be baseball or professionally or academically, it's all going to work out for them. They have all the tools. This is part of the building process.
As we return back to the action, there is a pitch where the catcher frames it, but however, it's a ball. And here we back to the action on top of the 5th with Team Gray up 1 run to Team Red 0. And there's a pitch, and that's a strike on the outside corner. And we have a small little break in the action here. So our third base coach comes to retrieve the foul ball.
Yeah, folks at home, we're a little challenged with so many substitutions, so many names. So just bear with us.
And our apologies out to the parents or friends watching today. And there's a broken bat that goes to the pitcher's side. And the pitcher makes a nice play to catch the ball and make the out.
Got to be honest, Jerry, I think if I saw half a bat coming at me, I'd be going the other way. So good poise by the pitcher to be able to do it. And I tell you what, you have to really get a kid on the screws to break a bat like that. So that's the first broken bat today.
And again, we can't say enough of all these players today, as well as throughout the week, have been showing their great prowess of maturity, as everyone here in attendance, from our cafe attendees to all the fans, have had a wonderful time exchanging pleasantries with all these good young men. And even though they're coming out to watch them play, they've also been quite impressed with how well they're behaved.
Agree. So far, we see a bunch of young men having fun, joking around, playing the game, getting better. So we have an Italian versus an Italian here today. Number 15 at bat, Lorenzo Moresi.
And our infield playing back on the lip of the grass. And there's a swing, foul ball.
Now the Italian leagues are, it's a big baseball community. So I would imagine these 2 guys will have played together on the national team and some all-star teams, but it's highly likely they're playing for different clubs, different regions.
As we turn back to the action here, a little bit warm out here in Farnham Park. And there's a check swing that's going to drop into center field. A diving attempt by our right fielder. However, we have a base hit on that. Great effort by our right fielder there, Anthony. I thought he was going to get it.
I thought so too. And you know what? Hats off to the center fielder who was moving on the ball, backed him up, and managed to turn prevent the runner from going to second. So, and you know what? Hats off to the pitcher, because that ball wasn't hit that hard. Up now is the leadoff batter, Pertinella. Big Dutchman who plays first base. And he's facing this crafty righty with plenty of moxie on the mound.
Big representation here from the Dutch contingency. And again, our compliments here. Some great athletes, very well behaved, a great representation of the Netherlands. And there's a ball to the right side. Is that going to be foul or fair? It does curve foul.
Jerry, 19 players here from the Netherlands. That's just a testament to the skill level and the drive and love of the game of baseball in a small country like Holland.
With over 50 fields throughout the country, you can't say enough of how well they've done to develop the sport. In addition, they have brought some Major League Baseball players to the show, and all the way from Curacao.
Yes, I know you've got lots of MLB players like Alderson Simmons and players like that, and all these players are kind of in the mold of that, if you will. In Holland, you know, Jerry, they refer to baseball as honkball. So we got some Dutch honkballers here today.
Goedemiddag. And there's a foul ball by our batter, number 41. Dutch national team ranked in the top 10 worldwide and always being at the top of the European competition. Great British national team also trying to make the Olympics. We'll see them somewhere down in September.
Ercolini, with some zip on that fastball in the inside corner, manages to strike out the heavily scouted outfielder first baseman for the red team there from Holland. So nice 2 innings by the young Italian guy. He's going to turn some heads here today, Jerry.
And I'll tell you what, there was good velocity in the last pitch. You could hear that pop, and from where we're standing, it was a fantastic pitch. Caught the batter a little bit off center, and for strike number 3.
You know, it's fun for the catcher when you just put the glove up and the ball hits it exactly in the right spot. It's not so easy to do that all the time, but those catchers have to work so hard during the tough times. It's nice when it works out for them once in a while.
And again, what a lovely day here at Farnham Park. 23 Celsius. A fantastic day. Today's sundown is approximately around 9 o'clock this evening. So we've got game number 2 scheduled this afternoon, I would say in a couple hours. For those of you in attendance, we'll be taking a break in between games and returning back to the action, where tonight's game we will see our 2 homegrown players, Ollie Thompson and Aiden Pierce, appearing in game 2. We're quite proud of both of them as they've come through our program, and this is a great opportunity to showcase the best of British baseball. For those of you joining us, this is the BBF TV, which stands for the British Baseball Federation, the national governing body of baseball in Great Britain, with over 1,500 active participants playing in 4 leagues: MBL, AAA, AA, Single A. We have 45 teams in the seniors division, over 30 youth teams. And BBF TV started last year, where we showcased 18 games of our British competition and national championships. This is our second broadcast for the year. Our first one was in April. That was a Federations challenge with our counterparts over there in Ireland, where we had the Irish-British Cup, showcase the Hurricane, the Dublin Hurricane baseball team, coming on over to play the London Mets. And you were there, Anthony. You were showcasing your broadcasting.
Well, I've got some work to do, but we're getting better all the time. And I got an email from Peter Cavanaugh this morning wishing us best of luck, and sorry that he couldn't be here. So,
Peter, we miss you. We hope to see you back here. Anthony can't wait for you to take over, as he's saying, where's Peter? A lot better than what I got today.
On the mound now, folks, we have Francesco Pomponi, another Italian lad, pitching for the red team.
And there's a ground ball to the third baseman that picks it up after 3 bounces, throws over to first base for out number 1.
Nice job. Very smooth by the third baseman and a quick release. Nothing like a pitcher gets a ground ball on the first or second pitch, and there's an out. The tension drains from you. All of a sudden you start to relax.
And again, returning back to the action here, we're represented by 13 different countries, bringing the best of European team competition to Farnham Park. And as we return back to the action, the pitcher throws a strike down the middle.
Unlike the previous pitchers, the 2 right-handers, the previous pitcher for the gray team had an aggressive leg kick with a sneaky delivery. Here we have a slower leg kick and a slightly different arm angle. So it's amazing that how individually unique the sport is to each pitcher and each player.
And our pitcher with a wind-up, one of the very rare wind-ups that we've seen on today. And long pants there, Anthony.
These modern kids, you know. Ooh, off-speed offering.
Again, our pitcher here showing good control and good velocity, picking the corner. Scouting report have him. He's developed into a very mature pitcher. And there's a ball in the ground
So Giandro Trump, the batter, he has a brother who's played some pro ball in the U.S., and he's got baseball in his family. Just another one of those Dutch teams, Dutch players that have a longer history in baseball than we would think. I think we keep coming back to that theme, which is evidenced by the 19 players that are here.
And there's a foul ball.
Good baseball there. High quality inside fastball and a quality inside out swing. It's almost a draw between the pitcher and the batter.
And just looking at those bats earlier today, a lot of them what kind of bats they were using. It looks like it was.
Whoa! Sliding play by the second baseman. Hot dog! Look at that play, Jerry.
That was that was a hobby by showcase play for our second baseman here.
Absolutely. Let's see our technical team to do the replay on that. This is terrific. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the second baseman. Instant reaction from the ball, the slide, the spin. And believe me, Mr. Trump is hustling down the line, so that is a timing play of really, really high athletic quality there. So congratulations to the red team and that great play by the second baseman.
As we turn back to the action, there's a foul ball on the first pitch. Going back to the scouting report earlier today, our batter here, number 12.
Samuel Bruno. The scouts are talking about him having a high athletic body. They want a bit of, they want more reps. They want more maturity. They want more experience. But they love the tools. They call him a 5-tool player.
And speaking and taking a look at the bats earlier today, we noticed that a lot of the batters today have bats that are 30 ounces and the 33. 33-30. Drop 3.
And also for the folks at home, I mean, these are all wooden bats today, so they're playing with, they're playing just like the major leaguers do, which is a different feel when you talk to the players and they're playing at this level. By and large today, with the score of 1-0, the pitchers have had the advantage, but let's see how that plays out during the game. Jerry, what are your plans for the weekend? Are you going to be at the games?
My plans for the weekend start tomorrow over at MLB Workout Day. They go on through the weekend, and I'll be there for both days of this London series. The first time a regular season game is played here in Europe, and on behalf of the British community, we can't say enough of our gratitude to Major League Baseball. That's just been wonderful, providing all the resources for this great week of baseball leading up to the London series.
Good piece of hitting there by the Gray team, that they're able to get a piece of bat on a terrific curveball. So nice job. You know, Jerry, we're talking about the fences and the size of the field at the London series. So 385 to center field, but the fence is going to be 16 feet high, so higher than your normal fence to kind of compensate for that. So it's going to create a few.
There's a one bouncer to the pitcher.
Ooh.
Ball over to pulls the first baseman over to the foul territory, but a nice play by the first baseman to keep his foot on the base for out number 3.
I think we call that fancy footwork, Jerry.
See, here's our replay. No replay.
Okay, new pitcher in for the Gray team. Let's size up who this lad is.
And as we go in between these innings, we are very happy to report that there will be a lot of different activities inside the stadium starting on Saturday. We will be able to experience over 10 different food vendors that have been recruited from around the London area to showcase their skills and to bring the best baseball experience to those in attendance. There are estimates that these 2 games will be the most watched games in attendance in the regular season of MLB, with an estimated crowd of over 55,000 for each game, starting on Saturday, finishing on Sunday.
Well, it's a real testament to the sporting enthusiasm here in England, and they just love the competition, and they like the product. That they'll support it.
And And, speaking to people earlier, asking, why the UK? Again, 65 million people, one of the most populous European countries, third in population, great GDP per individual, a lot of buying power for people to buy MLB merchandise, as well as an investment from the business community. And MLB has done a great job of putting on a fantastic experience leading up to the London series. We expect a great turnout on Saturday and Sunday. And for those that don't know, next year, MLB has already confirmed that the Chicago Cubs are coming to play the St. Louis Cardinals first 2 weeks of June next year, where we expect another great turnout, and MLB doing what they can to bring baseball to the European community.
Now, Jerry, we've talked a lot about Italy. We've talked a lot about the Netherlands. We've spoken quite a lot about the Czech Republic. Welcome to Sweden. Julius Hopkins, right-handed pitcher from Sweden, is taking the mound. Just another example of how the game spreads.
And again, Sweden, what a fantastic job they've done, bringing baseball to higher levels in a very short period of time. And again, the challenge is up always to the European countries up north regarding weather. They don't have too many summer days. And there's a shot to the third baseman, the hot corner.
How about that?
Which makes a stab.
Ooh.
Prevents the ball from going to the outfield, gets up quickly, throws the ball over to first baseman on a hop, but the ball gets away and the runner is safe. However, that is a Major League Baseball attempt, Anthony.
Outstanding. Now, Marek Schlupp, who was the batter on that, he goes to North Carolina State. So he is one of two players here that's going to Division I college and playing at a high level. And he ripped that, Jerry. That third baseman's reflexes, number 11 for the gray team, did a phenomenal job on that play. He's going.
And here's the attempt from the catcher. And
stolen
our
base.
Runners first. He stole it. He's safe at second. And there's the set. And pitcher delivers. And you can see the great jump from our base runner sliding into second base. And with a runner at second base, we have our pitcher taking a good deep look at him, making sure he doesn't get too far away. And there's a pitch high and away.
Marek Schlupp, 6'3", 225. D1 player from America playing in this MLB Elite Tournament from the Czech Republic. Bringing a lot of skills to the table here, plenty of athleticism. And he's... Ooh. So this is a great learning moment. This young pitcher from Sweden probably hasn't seen this level of baseball skill before. He's sticking in there. It's going to make him better.
As we turn back to the action here, there is a strike.
And when you see a pitch like that in a moment like that with a good athlete on second base like Mr. Schlupp, you really realize that the players here are really competing on every pitch.
And our pitcher taking a good long look at the runner at second base, and there's the delivery. And there is some heat in the world of baseball language. That's a BB.
Jerry, I like it. There was a pause between the pitch, so he's not showing his repetition. He checks the runner, and he managed at the same time to keep the batter slightly off balance. Nice job of just using the timing to the pitcher's advantage.
Low and inside for a ball, and for those watching us, this is a showcase of the top 90 athletes that are teams playing in the MLB Elite Development Tournament. And we have scouts from all over Major League Baseball teams in attendance today. And they are looking at not just the game itself, but the individual skill sets, from velocity to speed on the bases to intelligence. And that plays a big key factor, speaking to the scouts earlier today, how well the player knows his positioning, knows where to be, how to back up. All the fundamentals are great, all the skill sets, but that intelligence is the determining factor whether the player is complete.
Jerry, you've been a big driver of the BBF and developing baseball and wanted to get this game on TV with our technical force here and the cameras, etc. And this is going to be used as a teaching tool for the kids post this tournament. So it's funny how the technology and the efforts of everybody amalgamates into ultimately better players.
Exactly. By posting it on our YouTube channel, these players, scouts, as well as the outside fans, could always go back, look at the recording, slow it down, see the mechanical, the fundamentals, and break everything down to breaking the angle and the speed to be able to make corrections for their future development.
No, there's lots of subtleties to the game, and a lot of times when you review with video afterwards, you can, when you're not in the moment, it allows you to improve and perfect your game.
And our batter takes a pitch off the back and is going over to first base. So we've got bases loaded here.
Okay, Mr. Hopkins has got himself in a little bit of a pickle. He can go from the windup here as the bases are loaded. We'll see what he chooses to do. Batter takes in for the red team. So important moment in the game here. The Grays are up by 1, and the Reds, well, they wouldn't mind poking a few across the board here, Jerry.
As we turn back to the action, there's a fastball high for a strike.
I don't know. I like to see if a pitcher makes a mistake, like hitting a batter, and he can come back and throw a strike. It plays to the poise and the sportsmanship and the skill level of the pitcher. I love to see that as a broadcaster and a fan.
And there's another strike. Pitch selection here, 2 fastballs.
Well, Jerry, a strikeout here would do a lot of good for the Gray team and also boost the confidence of the pitcher. So he's got him down 0-2. Let's see what the offering is.
Ball that bounces in. Catcher doing a fantastic job of blocking it, keeping it within the circle. Base runners can't advance, so our kudos there to our catcher, showing the fundamentals of how to block a pitch.
And it's a very unnatural position in that you actually want to get hit by the ball, Jerry, when you're trying to block that position. I don't want to get hit by the ball. Nice job by the catch.
And returning back to the action there, we have our pitcher delivery, and there's another ball in the dirt and a good block there by the catcher again. Getting hit by the pitch, and Anthony, that's why we got you to booth.
Thanks, Jerry. Look, an interesting defensive position here by the Gray team. It looks like the middle infielders are at double play depth. The third baseman's at normal depth, but the first baseman's in on the grass. So I guess he's playing for the bunt here.
There's a breaking pitch for a ball.
So that's a 3-2 count now. But the base is loaded. Big challenge for this young pitcher on the mound. Here's the delivery.
And there's a foul ball to the right-hand side.
I think the pitcher will say he guessed right on fastball. Just a smidge early on that one. They always say the longer these at bats go, that when you go to 6, 7, 8 pitches, the advantage kind of gradually works itself to the hitter. We'll see how this plays out.
And there's a shot to center. Our center fielder camping underneath it. Runners are going to tag, and there's a throw to home. Ball's a little bit to the outside, and our base runner scores, and the other runners advance. So we've got runners at second and third, and another run in here for the red team. So we've got a 1-1 game.
Well executed play on that fly ball, in that the batter, his job was to get the ball in the air, and he did. Center fielder did a nice job of lining it up, so to speak, and his throw was a little off base on the way home. The runner would have been safe anyway. So here's something different. That was an out at the plate, Jerry, but there's still a runner at first base. And this is part of this MLB development tournament. They want some situational things to happen to test the players in these situations. So slightly different than what a normal game would be.
And returning back to the action, here's our pitcher holding the bat. base runners, and there's a big pitch for a strike, a swing and a miss, and that had some good velocity here. And as we were talking to the scouts earlier, we're seeing these pitchers throwing in their high 80s, some of them actually hitting 90, and that one definitely looked close to 90.
Remember, this is Max Keplar. He's the young man here with the fastest time in the 60-yard dash. They'd love to see him scamper around the bases.
And that's a ball on the outside for a ball. And we have base runners at every base. Sorry, my mistake. That previous play brought in the runner at third. We've got runners at first and second. There's error number 3 on this broadcaster, Anthony.
Yep. I think that was my error, not yours, Jerry. Sorry about that.
And there's a breaking pitch into the dirt, which the batter gets fooled, and that's strike number 3. And considering that the ball was in the dirt and got away from the catcher with the runner at first base occupied, the catcher did not have to tag the base runner, sorry, the batter, as it was an automatic out.
Adriani Tomasi is up for the red team. Right-handed batter, athletic build. A young Swedish lad on the hill, wheels and deals.
And again, as we return back to the action, there's a ball into the dirt. That's a breaking pitch on the first pitch.
So what you see from the right-handed pitcher from the gray team is plenty of movement on the curveball, just not being able to get it close enough to be either just out of the strike zone strike or a strike. That's a development issue. More experience will get him to where he needs to be. There's a strike.
As we turn back to the action here, we got runners at first and second. Another breaking pitch, low and away for a ball.
Tommaso Adriani from Italy, 5'11". 6'1", 183 pounds.
That's a fast ball, high for a ball.
Jerry, I saw Liam Carroll earlier. He said he was going to try and stop by for a visit, so hopefully we'll get to see, we'll see Liam, who's runs the Team GP, Great Britain national team. So.
And our pitcher there trying to fade away pickoff play, but no one covering. However, it does put into the base runner at second the thought that they're keeping an eye on him, and there's ball number 4, so we have bases loaded here. And who's up here, Anthony?
Let's see the next batter. Number 19, Luis Brainville, a Frenchman, recently moved to catcher. So he's one of those players who's looking for he's got the athletic skills, the coaches like him, he's got a great attitude, and he's recently moved to catcher, and the coaches say he's making good progress. And that's why they bring him here to the MLB Elite, so they can move around a little bit, experiment, and they could find their position at a higher level.
And our reports are saying that the Yankees are in town there, Anthony. They are in London.
They've landed.
With a showcase of old superstars. Reggie Jackson, Pettit are in attendance somewhere in London. We'll try to get some feedback from our eyes in the great city of London of where these superstars are out and about.
Well, Reggie and Mr. Pettit, there's a lot of championships. They have a championship ring. So I wonder if they brought them with them or not. They'll need their own lockbox in their room. But there's a lot of World Series pedigree with those two players. I'll tell you that, Jerry.
Turning back to the action, our pitcher in the windup here, ready for the pitch. There's a foul ball. Good observation earlier today. Question was put forth to us up on social media. More Yankees or Red Sox fans in London. Our unofficial tally is that there's more Red Sox fans in London.
Ooh.
However, there's more Yankee merchandise walking around this great country. As you're out and about, you'll always see Yankee paraphernalia, from T-shirts, especially hats.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great curveball to finish the inning by that young Swedish pitcher, and he faced some good batters, had a little bit of struggles, but you know what? He finished off the inning with his best pitch of the inning. So well done. For you fans that aren't as old as me and can't remember the original Mr. October, Reggie Jackson.
I can't remember that back.
You were there, Jerry. And he was really something. 3 home runs against the Dodgers in 1 game. I watched that game as a kid. It was pretty special.
So as we pan around here, see lovely Farnham Park, which just got a nice facial. Brought to you by Major League Baseball. Putting a lot of investment into this field. Our field dimensions are left field 330 down the left field line, center field 400, right field 360. Or 340, my mistake, bad eyes there. And as the sun is peeking through, we have a fantastic day of baseball ahead of us, and later today we've got game number 2. And with all those in attendance today and players, let's not forget our German contingency of elite players. Our congratulations to the German Federation, which has been very successful in building one of the top 10 teams in the world, from the youth level all the way into the senior divisions. Again, great representation here at this tournament. Great NGB, and effectively a great example for other NGBs of how to mix competition, fun, and development into a great program.
Well, Jerry, number 28, young man from the Netherlands, with the name of Naut, N-A-U-T, Cracked, K-R-A-G-T. This is a challenge for me, trying to get all the names and the spellings right. So, Naut Krat on the mound, 6'2", 150 pounds. Reminds me, has the same build as my son, who's a lanky pitcher as well.
And Youngin is going to do a little pitching here. And there's a foul ball to the right side on the first pitch, which is a fastball. And looking or reviewing all the pitch selection here, most of our pitchers here starting off with fastballs on the first pitch, trying to get ahead of the batter.
Batter for the gray team, Marco Eberle.
Majority of the pitchers starting off even with no runners on base in the set position. Rarely do we see pitchers in the windup. A lot has to do with the development of players, which have been taught to start off in the set position. It simplifies their emotion, gets them ready when they relieve with runners at the bases, and effectively that seems to be what is taught throughout most of these countries.
Well, Jerry, number 23 up at plate for the gray team is one of the players here from Germany. So he's facing off against one of the Dutch players. And good athletic physique, seems to know what he's doing in the batter's box. Not pitching from the windup, catches a sign from the catcher, takes a breath, here comes the pitch. Nice fastball, good work with the bat by the batter as well. It's good baseball. Sorry, folks, we've been on air for an hour. We need some reserves.
And here's the pitch. high and inside for a ball. Our pitcher here from the Netherlands, not sure what part of the Netherlands, but always identified by their orange ball caps.
Orange, be proud, our Dutch friends. This guy's uniform is too big for him. He can't put on weight fast enough, I'm sure what his coaches say. Good pitch.
But good velocity on this pitcher. Good feedback from the scouts. Seems very mature for his age. Well, compact motion. Picks his points. Good character throughout the camp. So he's making a good name for himself here.
Nice. You know, as a parent and a coach, and I call myself a player development guy. I just love to see how these young men conduct themselves in the right way, playing for the love of the game, enjoying the moment and getting better and competing. It's a nice thing to be around.
And there's a ball on the inside for another pitch where our pitchers got a good selection of moving the pitches around. And again, it's not necessarily how fast you throw. It's your pitch selection, the speed of pitches, get the batters off pace, off balance, and there's ball number 4. So we've got a runner at first, starting us off here.
The scouting report on the next batter for the gray team, Paul Rodriguez, they call him a traditional leadoff guy, which means he's going to be fast, he's going to be good with the bat, and he's not going to strike out a lot, which means he can also hit second, which is where he's managing to bat this inning. Nice pitch.
There's a ball to center field. Fly ball's deep, and it's dropped by the center fielder. Base runner at first had a hold, and that's a long, long hit. However, it only gets a single, as the center fielder may have lost it there in the sun. So he struggled, but he recovered quick enough to get it in time, and really no too much damage than getting a runner to second and first.
It's a shame because he ran all that way to get the ball, and then he couldn't essentially close the deal. But at the same time, he didn't give up on it either.
However, we look up, we see a very high sky here. There's no angels in the sky for those baseball linguists. Angels are the clouds. When you have clouds, it's always better, especially on a sunny day. So those clouds are able to give your eyes a little bit more depth perception of a fly ball. But here we have a high sky, no clouds. Therefore, with the sun, the heat, and makes it a little bit tougher for our outfields, and that was a good example.
Well, Jerry, as we progress through the game, we're getting multiple substitutions now. So the batter from the Czech Republic, foul ball, is Zan Primozic, right-handed kid from the Czech Republic who's batting now. So remember, folks at home, this isn't about strict substitutions and such. It's more about making sure every player gets to be put in the right spot to play. Every player gets an experience. Every player gets the reps necessary to improve. They've done a nice job. All the coaches have done a really nice job here, making sure that the kids have gotten their chances.
And here we go, returning back to the action. We've got a runner at first and second. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, and he moves over to his left. Can't get it. It goes off his heel. One run scores. There's a play at third base. It gets away from the third baseman. However, all that happens is a batter goes to second. Our original base runner at second goes to third, and we have an RBI on that.
Well, Jerry, the old adage, if you hit the ball hard somewhere, good things are going to happen. And in that situation, the batter hit the ball just hard enough, and that caused the infielder to make an error. So a run in for the gray team, and some work to do here for the red team. Runners on second and third. They want to get some outs here, Jerry.
And returning back to the action here, we've got runner at second base and third. And we've got number 6. And Anthony is referring to our 90-player roster to find us name and some insights.
So number 6, Mick Vos from the Netherlands, who's only about 148 pounds. So some of these young lads are growing and doing their thing. Here's the pitch. Base hit up the middle. That's going to play 2 here, Jerry. Nice piece of hitting by Voss.
Which scores 2 runs.
Hot dog. Not bad. Second pitch. Base hit up the middle. 2 RBIs. Not a bad way to come off the bench, huh?
There you go. And definitely putting on a showcase for these Major League Scouts as they're all penciling their notes and observations on that great at-bat. And what we have here is our next batter, number 11, that made a fantastic attempt an inning and a half ago. And his name is?
Max Hill. And he's a college player from the States. It's really interesting that one high-level college player made arguably one of the better plays of the day on a hot chopper to third, but he certainly did.
So we have a runner at first base. Our pitcher.
Pitcher tucks his shoulder in, wheels and deals. Nice strike. A big thank you from my colleague Jerry. Some of my notes went flying across the field.
Okay, Anthony, I'm going to have to go to the physical therapist after that long trot. Get those stats. And our batter getting ready for the pitch. Pitcher holding a runner at first base. And there is
nice
a shot to the left side, dropping in for a single. So we got runners at first and second.
You know, it's amazing. I don't think the pitch is necessarily, the batters haven't it's almost as if the batters have gotten warmed up. I don't think the pitches are necessarily that bad, but they've been low in the zone, and the batters have been able to get the barrel of the bat on them.
And returning back to the action here at lovely Farnham Park, with our temperatures rising to around 24 Celsius. The umbrellas are out, not for rain, however, for the bright sun.
Well, number 27 for the gray team, Leo Jemenian, is headed off to Texas to play some college ball, and the word from the scouts is he's a multi-tool player. Athletic physique, the sky's the limit for him.
And MLB doing their research, picking through our weather almanac, the 1 week where historically it rains the least and the temperatures are high, and it is a longest days of the year.
Yes, getting close to the summer solstice.
And there's a pop-up.
Wow, that's a big pop fly.
And the catcher's battling, and he drops it inside fair territory. That allows all the base runners to advance, and our batter goes to first base. Now again, coming back to our earlier comments, this is a high sky. The sun is out and bright. Very tough to make pop-ups or catch the fly balls, as their judgment somewhat impairs on this hazy, sunny day in Farnham Park.
I think what you've seen here is the ball that the center fielder dropped and the ball that the catcher just dropped was at the same angle of the sun, just to show you how difficult it is.
So we have a query from our coach on that. We're waiting for the umpires to assess, and we're waiting for the feedback. No replays here at our Elite European Tournament.
So the next batter is Leo Backstrom, and
so I believe the play there is infield fly,
which means the runner's out.
Correct. And what happened for those listening in, when there was runners at first and second, less than 2 outs, ball up in the air, according to the rule, is the runners could advance on their own risk. However, automatically the batter is out, considering that the infield could intentionally let the ball drop to force a double play. This is a rule that a lot of baseball experts still find it hard to understand, and definitely for those new to the game. However, we hope we've given you a good little bit of a quick summary. Long story short, that is an out, and we return back to the action.
Well, we have another Swedish guy, Leo Backstrom, who's up at bat, a catcher. The scouting report on him, it's a big body. Big, tough kid. Ooh. And the scouts are also very high in his development and his demeanor behind the plate. It's hard for catchers to have that lower body strength and flexibility to be in that crouch and also be a big individual. A little high and inside on that one. We've just been kind enough that Jerry's son Joe has brought us some drinks, so thank you for that. To all you fans that are listening at home, no doubt you're in Holland, you're in France, you're in Italy, in the Czech Republic, in Sweden, and just a big thank you for taking time to listen in, and please make comments. We're just really appreciative to have the opportunity to be here with Major League Baseball and also to be here and watch young men play. Runners on second and third. Pitcher wheels and deals. Curveball. Nice job by the batter to get a piece of that.
So returning back to the action here, we have a runner at third and second. And there's a ball to center field. Center field playing shallow. There's a tag up, and there's a play at the plate. One bouncer, two bounces. It gets away from the catcher and scores a run. Runner at second advances to third. However, we've maxed out on the pitch count, and we're changing aside from the third out. And for those of you paying attention earlier today, this game is being managed with the best efforts to protect the arms of the players and to ensure that there's a good rotation of players taking part. So we're not necessarily just playing 3 outs and we move on. Rather, other parts come into play, like pitch count. And that's what you saw right there, and that's why we have a change in the action here. For those of you out there joining us, this is BBF TV, brought to you by the British Baseball Federation, the national governing body of baseball, the NGB of the sport, one of the oldest NGBs for baseball in Europe, and a 100% self-sufficient NGB, a rarity, no public funding. Today our second broadcast for 2019. Another 16 to come later in the year as we will showcase our senior baseball championships in August as well as September. And we'll be finishing it off with our youth national championships on the 14th and 15th for all of those tuning in.
Jerry, just recap with the coaches. The score is 5-1 to the gray team. We're heading into the top of the 7th of a 9-inning game, just to put some framework around it. Number 45 is a left-handed pitcher for the gray team, Thomas Herbeck. Herbeck sounds like a familiar name. Must have a cousin that played for the Minnesota Twins way back when. Czech Republic lad, lefty, 6'4", 203. Per the program. Coaches like him because he's got a big body. That's Okay, batting for the red team, number 20. Tobias Werner. Austrian catcher. Solid receiver. Nothing fancy, but gets the job done behind the plate.
And again here, as we watch the action here, we've got our pitcher, lefty, in the windup, the infield playing deep on the lips of the outfield grass. And here's our pitch number 1. High for ball number 1. Keep it close here. And there's a pitch for strike number 1. And in our booth here, we have a visiting coach here from MLB. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Stefan Müller. I'm from Germany, coaching the Regensburg Academy, and also here at the tournament coaching the blue team.
And on behalf of the British baseball community, welcome to Farnham Park.
Thank you very much.
And there's a pitch for a strike. So tell me a little bit about your academy back in Germany.
Yeah, I mean, we have the academy in Regensburg, which houses players from age 14 till about 19. And usually we have them for 4 to 5 years, trying to develop them and bring them either to the German highest league, to the German national team, or in the best case, signing a pro contract or going to the US college.
And how many German players do you have here in attendance?
Right now we have 5 from the Regensburg Academy and a couple German players as well from different cities.
Fantastic. And when it's winter, what do you do?
For 3 years now, we have a pretty good indoor facility. We have 3 batting cages and a big area with artificial turf where we can work on athletic stuff like small defensive drills, throw in, have a big weight room in there as well. So we concentrate on the physical development of the players since we can't play and go outside and no long toss and stuff like that. But I think there's still a lot to do, and especially the physical development is a big part for us there.
And that was strike number 3 there for out number 1. And returning back to the action, there's a pitch high, but for a strike. And going back here to our guests. So in senior baseball, how many divisions do you have?
Right now we have 7 divisions in Germany, and our academy team is playing in the 2nd division there.
And your ranking globally with the WBSC?
Oh, we moved down a little bit. I'm not 100% sure right now which position we are, but after the last 2 years we moved down a little bit, being not too successful in international tournaments.
However, we have to give you a lot of kudos there. The German programs are always strong, always competitive, and they always show a lot of good character when they're traveling about. So we can't say enough of how well you train your players, but also have them mature that they represent the country and the federation to just complete accolades.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, and I'm really happy to hear that.
And returning back to the action here, we have our left-handed pitcher getting ready to pitch to number 41. And here we go for the windup and a pitch, and that is a ball. So tell me, are you going to be out to the London series this weekend?
No, unfortunately not. I'm heading back to Germany on Saturday in the morning because with it's our home club, the playoffs start on the weekend. So I unfortunately have to head back.
So are you a Yankees or Red Sox fan?
I'm tending more towards the Yankees, but not the biggest fan of them either.
Fair enough. And there's ball number 4. So thank you very much for taking this opportunity to join us here in the booth, and we wish you a lot of luck. You'll be coaching game number 2, correct?
Correct.
And what team will you be coaching?
The blue team.
Well, thank you on behalf of the British Baseball Federation, and we always welcome the German players because, again, great fundamentals, great character, and always great competition. So the best of luck to you this afternoon.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
So returning back to the action here, we have a runner at first base. And we have batter number 27 joining us now. And we have Anthony coming back into the booth.
Remember Marek Schlupp from the last inning? He's our player from North Carolina State. The runner
And
goes.
there is the runner going. And let me tell you, what a great jump. He was at least 4 strides down the line before the pitcher even released the ball.
You know, that runner going from first to second, he's a big fella, and he got up to running speed pretty quick. So got an RBI situation, runner in scoring position.
Got a runner at second, pitcher holding him, and there's a ground ball to the third baseman. A bobble, but throws
Nice
out
play.
runner at third, and the return back to third to try to get the runner advancing, but it's cut off. And the runner at second now is at third base. So good fundamental baseball there.
Hey, for any young people watching at home, Jerry, the coaches will always say, never give up on a ball. And what a great way. Webbing, heel of the glove, pops in the air, catches it on the run, and manages to get the out. Heads up base running by number 41. It's a passed ball and the run scores. Tough one for the catcher on that. So Chris Guzaldo, a middle infielder from the Ramstein Air Force Base, so an American lad living here in Europe. Getting his baseball work in and no doubt having some fun while he's doing it. For those families of the American servicemen that are overseas, it's nice to be able to tap into a talent level and be able to play at this level. So okay, left-hander takes a sign. Here comes the kick and the pitch. Nice play. Good job on the third baseman on that. Right? Attacked the ball clean, scooped, and threw the ball out to second. We have a visitor here, Jerry. Who do we have?
So here's one of our players here joining us. Go right ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Luc Terbeek.
And Luke, you're coming in from the Dutch Federation, correct?
Yes, from the Netherlands, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background, Luke.
I'm 18 years old, and I've been playing baseball since I was 6, I think. I was introduced to baseball by my parents. They played baseball, so they brought me to the field, and I started swinging with some big bats and fell in love with the sport.
That's great. And what attracted you to the sport?
Sorry?
What attracted you to the sport? Was it just something new? Did you decide to try, or?
Well, I started, I love throwing, and I love to play with a team, to compete with a team, and yeah, I just love the game. Yeah.
And what are your future plans?
I'm going to Arizona Western College coming fall, so yeah.
So you leave this fall to go to attend university in the United States?
Yeah.
And this university is basically a 4-year university, Division 1, 2,
it's
3?
a Division 1 junior college.
Oh, that's
in
fantastic.
Arizona, yeah.
Well, we are very proud that you're here at Farnham Park, showcasing the best of Dutch baseball. On behalf of the British Baseball Federation, we wish you a lot of luck. You will play in Game 2. What position?
I'm a pitcher.
So tell us a little bit about your pitching repertoire. Fastball, curveball, change?
I throw a 4-seam and 2-seam fastball. I throw a knuckle curve, and I throw a knuckleball and a circle change.
Well, fantastic. I wish you all the luck. We'll showcase you a little bit later today. Enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir.
So here we turn back to the action as we're getting back to the game, and a lot of substitutions, so bear with us, everyone. So as we return back to the action here, we have a new change of battery. And Anthony picking up the mic here and looking at this 90-man roster to find our player.
So the new pitcher here, right-handed pitcher, Nick Ioli. Now, Nick,
That's a foul ball to the left side.
Nick Ioli's another Italian lad, youngin, 6'1", 170. Facing off against the gray team, number 16, Federico Ricci, 2 Italian boys.
And that's a ball, low and inside. And here's another example where, with nobody on, our pitchers are in the set position. And there's a foul ball to the left side.
So really interesting with this pitcher, Jerry. We've gone from a very aggressive high leg kick to a steady leg kick to almost no leg kick for this right-handed pitcher. Interesting, the subtleties of how each player does it. Nice deceptive changeup on that pitch. 1 down. Our good friend Leandro Trump, the left-handed batter, middle infielder, comes up to the plate. Had a few good at-bats today. Tough to get the thread of what a pitcher's throwing you when the pitchers are being changed every inning or every other inning. So these guys just have to... Ooh, there's a shot. Look at that, deep in the gap. And nice play by the right fielder to track that down.
And an exceptionally good play there, Anthony, by the right fielder. You are right.
And I'll tell you what, that was a sharply hit ball. Well done, Mr. Trump. They said he's a little stocky, but plenty of power. Well, see, our guest, Mr. Lintern, is here.
How you doing, guys?
So welcome us. For those watching, this is Will Lintern, our Great British national coach for our under-18 team. So welcome, Will.
Thanks for having me. What an amazing day for baseball.
I'll tell you, this is an incredible day with a beautiful field out here. Major League Baseball has done a fantastic job, and thank you for being a part of it.
No, my pleasure. I've got to say, special credit to Major League Baseball. This might be the best that Farnham has ever looked. I mean, even going back to opening day, and that was a pretty special day. This might be my new favorite.
There you go. And we're turning back to the action. So, Will, you're actually coaching, too. Are you going to be coaching this afternoon?
I am. I'm the pitching coach for the blue team, which happens to be the same team that Ollie Thompson and Aiden Pierce are on. Neither of them are pitchers, but it's fun to have them in the dugout.
And how about some observations since you've been here earlier this week?
I mean, number one is just the incredible wealth of talent on display in Europe. It's wonderful to see the quality of young ball players coming up across from all the countries you'd expect. You know, Holland, Italy, Czech Republic are well represented, but also the French, the Belarusians, and then obviously fantastic to have 2 British kids involved in this tournament. Just what a wonderful experience and what a great way to show off all the talent we have here.
And you're getting ready for competition this summer, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
We are. So next Friday we fly to Sweden. The U18s are competing in the European Championship qualifier in Sundbyberg. We are in a pool with Switzerland, Belgium, Israel, and host Sweden, obviously. And so, yeah, we're going to have a tough week ahead of us. But if we do what we do, we play our best game, then we have a chance of winning it, and then that would put us back in the European Championship for next summer.
That's fantastic. And later you start with the seniors team, correct?
That is right. I will be the bullpen coach for the senior national team in September as we begin our campaign to try and win a European Championship and then also hopefully qualify for that next round-up competition, that special Olympic qualifier in Italy afterwards.
And the ball gets away there and the runner advances to second base. So how long have you been involved with British baseball?
So British baseball, I started back in 1993. I moved here when I was 9 from California and found a local youth team down in Tunbridge, and was very fortunate to be involved with Margaret Borley's program back then, and a number of national team players who were playing in Tunbridge. So a number of years, and then involved with the national team since 1999. That was my first year with the U18s.
And we noticed that you got the next generation of Linterns here for GB.
We do indeed. My son Alex is joining us today. He's not quite ready for tryouts. his 60's a little slow, but he's really good at running down hills very fast.
That's fantastic. And to have a father that's a coach, that's only going to pay dividends in the long run. And there's a shot in between our center and left fielder, and we got 1 run coming in, and the batter's going to stretch it to 3. There's the cutoff at the short. He's going to run it back in, and that's a good solid hit there from our batter.
Great to see some quality third base coaching from our head coach, Liam Carroll, over there on the gray team. I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but blue team did beat gray team yesterday, so I think that might mean I get a promotion of something. I don't know.
Anthony's not showcasing there, Leon, because he's not wearing the right pants. Anthony's old school. He likes those pants nice high up and tight around the knees. I noticed that wool over here is more modern look, Anthony, so I'm not sure whether or not you're going to, accept that.
I think, Will, you're looking just fine. And, best of luck in the next game, because I know wins and losses don't count, but they do.
Absolutely.
And best of luck with the GB U18 team. Hopefully, I think you're set for a good tournament. Have a good feeling about it.
I think so, too. Thank you very much.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah.
And thanks, Jerry.
So that was Will Lintern, our head coach for our under 18s and our bullpen coach for our seniors team for the Great British National Team. And there's a pop-up coming this way. Anthony, I hope you're going to get it. Anthony, there's, for those of you not viewing it outside of the camera angle, Anthony took 1 step closer to New Jersey to that foul ball, but,
Absolutely.
Attempt. I'll tell you what, though, Anthony, the scouts were out there clocking you, and you were not coming in under 5.
That's for sure. Believe me, I want no part of that ball. Absolutely.
And returning back to the action here, there's the ball on the outside, and we notice our runner at third taking a credible lead off. As you can see here, that half circle, which is 13 feet from third base, he's well down the third base line, at least 17 feet. And no play on him. Third baseman playing back.
I think the gray team with a commanding lead, they probably are, the red team's not holding them on, and it's probably not a stealing home situation, but ordinarily you'd have to address that in a live game.
And returning back to the action here on this huge sunny day. Here's a foul ball to the left side, getting out of play.
You see, as the game's gone on, the hitters are catching up to the pitchers, even though they don't get the same look at the same. They don't get the same look at the same pitches all the time. They're certainly, as a warm up and get a few at bats, the contact is coming. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the blue team, the winners yesterday, are milling about behind us, and 2 of the UK great GB prospects, Aiden Pierce and Ollie Thompson, are going to play on that team.
So now joining us in between the action here is Aiden Pierce from Great Britain, representing us in game number 2. Welcome, Aiden.
Hi, Jerry.
So, Aiden, you're going to be playing in game number 2. What positions?
I'm a catcher.
Fantastic. And on behalf of the British baseball community, can't say enough how proud of you representing Great Britain in this elite tournament with Ollie Thompson. Just a little bit about your background. When did you get involved in baseball?
I've been playing baseball ever since I was 3. My brother got me into the game, and I haven't really stopped since.
And we hear your mom has so much to do with it. We were speaking to her the other day. She said she's been building you up since the age of 3. And let me tell you, got to give her all the credit in the world.
Oh, yeah. All the credit goes to her. Makes me tough.
And
she's the real man.
And we hear that she brought on your dad into the game. She gave him a little bit of pointers, and today he's moved on, and he is now the official that oversees all of the national team, Jason Pierce.
Yeah, I'm proud my dad got an opportunity to help out everybody else that's put in work. So now it's his turn to make sure that he does the right thing for the rest of the country and make sure that the baseball program stays on track to be good.
And we're very proud of Jason's prowess here with our Great British National Program that covers over 5 teams and over 90 athletes. As you see a line drive there to our shortstop. Aiden, you're going to be playing in game number 2, catching Second position?
Usually just infielder.
Fantastic. And in a couple weeks, you're going out with the under-18 team over to Sweden, correct?
Yes, I am.
And you'll be competing there and taking what positions?
Hopefully catcher, and then also infield as well.
Fantastic. And what are your future plans?
Hopefully to stay in baseball, but if things don't work out, then hopefully to do something within a public service role. So.
And we understand you also on the weekends coach some of the youth teams over at your club team, the London Mets.
Yeah, it's always good to pass on knowledge from people that have given it to you. So I think it's a little bit unfair if people have, spent their time and energy into training you. I think you should do the same to give back to youth players.
And how have you found the experience here for this week of baseball?
It's great. It's awesome. You don't very often get to play with players of this caliber and athletes this high rated and play in front of this many people.
Well, I'll tell you what, your parents have done a great job raising you. You're a credit to the British baseball community to showcase your skills. But as a young man, we're very proud of you. We wish you a lot of success in the under-18 endeavor to showcase the best of British baseball. We wish you a lot of luck. Keep a good smile, wave to Mom, and we'll talk to you a little bit later today.
All right, well, thanks, Jerry.
Well, that was Aiden Pierce, ladies and gentlemen, one of the two Great Britain baseball players who are playing here in this elite tournament, MLB tournament today. And really pleasure to have an interview with him. And I've had the pleasure of, there's a ground ball to third. Nice 5-3. Great body work by that third baseman. Swedish kid who plays his college ball in California. Back to Aiden. Got to play and mostly coach against him for the last 4 or 5 years. But a terrific competitor, good ball player, and the coaches here are very high on him. They would consider him one of the top catching prospects here in camp. So it's a great compliment to him. All right, Herbeck, the big lefty, is back on the hill. Big body Herbeck. The coaches like him. The coaches like the frame. They always say they could hang a lot of meat on that frame. That's because he's big boned and got lots of potential. He's trying to harness his control here. Looks beautiful there, huh? That's a fastball for a strike. Pitcher wheels and deals. There's a fly ball to left field. It's gonna go foul. Nice fastball, inside out swing by the batter. A little late on it. Left-handed batter fouls it down the left field foul line. Comes the pitcher, sets and deals. A little high. We're approaching the end of the first game. Pretty well played affair, with the gray team having the advantage. Been a real pleasure. Nice play, swing and miss. Look at the footwork on the catcher. Nice play. All right, so for those folks at home, when you see that catcher taking that step in foul territory, he's trying to create some space between his line of sight so he can throw past the runner, not through the runner. So there's a safety concern there, and there's also a technical thing in that it's more efficient to ensure you get the out. Hey, Jerry.
And returning back to the action here, we've got our pitcher with a big wind-up delivery for a strike. And this lefty looks pretty good here, Anthony.
The scouting report on him is he's a big kid. They like the idea, with bigger the frame, bigger the velocity, bigger the upside is what they're hoping for. He's got some tools.
And the wind-up and the pitch. And there's a strike and a swing.
If you see the way he swings his glove forward and his throwing arm back, slightly Madison Bumgarner-esh in the way he deals. Not to say that he's Madison Bumgarner, but just some similarities in his delivery.
And back to the action here. Here's that big windup. There's a breaking pitch for a ball.
He was looking to put that on the inside part of the plate and just got it a little bit too inside.
So going back to the action here. We have a big windup from the pitcher. Low and outside for a ball. That was a fastball. And there's a windup. Breaking pitch for strike number 3.
Nice off-speed pitch. Pulled the string on that one. Nice job.
So as time progresses here, and we're getting ready for game number 2, a lot of social media tweets about our London series coming out between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox over at London Stadium. Game starting Saturday afternoon and Sunday. Broadcast all over the world. Different languages. ESPN is carrying in the BBC. Lot of webcasting on social media, as London Stadium has never looked better for baseball. This will be the first regular season game of Major League Baseball in Europe, and we're proud they've selected the United Kingdom to take part in their first expansion to the continent of Europe. Baseball, which dates back over 200 years here in the United Kingdom. By all accounts, looking back at history, Abner Doubleday starting baseball over in Cooperstown in 1839. Early accounts have baseball starting here, or some facets of it, around 1740s. It's progressed over the years. Participation has changed as the demographics to this lovely country has, with 65 million people, and changes both economically and demographically. We see different types of expats taking part, locals, and today in the British Baseball Federation there's over 1,500 active participants playing in 4 senior leagues, the MBL being our top league, AAA, AA, Single A, over 30 youth teams, and over 1,000 senior games played throughout the year, usually on the weekends. And to have this showcase for the first time here in Great Britain is a great testament to MLB's efforts to expand their reach in the United Kingdom, and we can't say enough. This field is a testament to a baseball grant a few years ago, and again coming here right before the London series and putting in more money into this field, which looks just absolutely pristine.
I remember when the fields opened, Jerry, 2013. We played the first Little League tournament here, and they built the clay mounds for the Little League tournament on the softball fields, and great fun. So pitching for the red team, number 35, Petr Vojta. Ground ball to third, picked up cleanly. Nice play. 5-3 put out. The batter for the gray team, if you remember him from the previous inning, was Mick Voss, who came up and on the second pitch had a 2 RBI single, so well done. Here's a college kid, a Swedish kid, who, I should say a Swedish young man, Swedish player, goes to school in California, made some nifty plays at third base so far today. Number 11, Max Hill.
Walking around, over 10 languages spoken with our players over these 2 days. Italian, French, German, Spanish.
And Max Hill up at the plate is Swedish. And his younger brother is going to be playing for the Swedish U18 team that we'll face in a few weeks' time. I had the pleasure of talking to his family just down in the stands. It's one of the nice things here for you folks at home. It's a small community, but we're checking the scores in between innings and on the way down to check jersey numbers and so on. You get to meet a lot of family and friends, and it's a nice community.
And we've got a walk there on the batter. So we've got a runner at first base. And up to bat is number 27.
The Frenchman, Leo Chiminian. I've said this a couple of times today, but all the scouts rave, good athlete. That's what the teams want.
And looking over to our runner at first base, taking a big lead of that half circle. Rule is when you get 2 feet outside that half circle, hit lead is way too big, and Leo has a huge advantage over the catcher. You don't see our pitcher stepping off and try to hold him back. Let's see what we have here. Again, huge lead off there, and there's a shot going at least 375 to our center field. Is playing at dead center. It's caught, and our base runner returns back to first base.
Nice play by the center fielder on that. Looking up into that tough sun. He missed the last one, didn't get his confidence down, hauled that one in. Very well played. Up now, number 26, Leo Backstrom, another Swede. Recently converted to catcher. The scouts love him. They like big guys with the lower body strength and lower flexibility to play that backstop role, be that leader behind the plate.
And there's strike number 1, high and inside. And the pitcher's holding down the runner at first base. And there's a pitch for strike number 1.
Nice fastball, low at the knees, hit the catcher spot. Well played. Foul ball. Okay, 2 strikes on the batter as they go back to reset. So it's going to be interesting what the catcher decides here. Pitcher's foot gets on the rubber. Takes a sign from the catcher. Here it comes. Fastball pop up into foul territory. They got to call it. Nice play by the first baseman who called him off. That was a nice play. Okay, so at the end of 8, 6-2 to the Grays. Let's look at this on the replay, folks. Watch that. Catcher's going. Now the first baseman calls him off. He's got a better angle on that play. And he was loud enough and made the sign clear enough for the catcher. Well executed play. Pitcher's out of the inning. So this is going to be effectively the last licks for the Reds. They're going to have to get some runs here for the game to continue. Pitcher for the red team, number 3. Check my roster here. I don't have a number 3. Young right-hander. Set to take his warm-ups. Sorry about that, folks. We're standing out here in the field, and some wind, and the papers are moving, so we had to take a moment to get myself organized. Let's see what we can glean from this pitcher. Smooth delivery, nice step towards the mound. Seems to hide the ball fairly well. Athletic, muscular physique. Looks like a player. Okay, as they call this here, this is last licks for the Reds. Up is number 25.
Been waiting for 2 days.
Tommaso Adorni. Young Italian fella from Italy. Okay, pitcher gets the sign. Here we go. Fastball low, ball one. Outfield's playing straight away. Normal depth on the infield. It's a little low, ball two. Not that easy to just step on the mound and throw strikes, folks. And sometimes it can take a batter or two to do it. I know you see it in Little League all the time, but even at this level, it's not that easy. Ball three. Had to skip out of the way of that one. Many moons ago in a Little League tournament, European Championships in Poland, I had a pitcher walk the bases loaded and then strike out the side. Several heart attacks across the coaching staff, but we managed to get out of the inning. Okay, good fastball, strike, 3-1. There we go, 3-2. So the pitchers come in, he's throwing a couple of balls, he's catching his breath, getting his confidence. Jerry, we got a 3-2 count.
And this pitcher from Spain, correct, Anthony?
I believe so, yes. Not on the roster, but he's got some pretty good stuff.
He sure does, I'll tell you what. And our next batter, number 19.
Luis Brainville. A catcher, good fundamental ball player, very consistent. The coaches like his consistency. They don't have to worry about an up and down performance. He gets the job done.
And high and inside for a strike.
Brainville's another one of our strong French contingent here in Farnham today. Checks the runner, deals. There's a strike.
So here we return back to the action, and there's a good fastball.
Absolutely. Plenty of zip on that, huh, Jerry?
Yes, and I believe we've seen this gentleman on the mound in Spain about 3 years ago up in Barcelona.
I was going to ask you, is that him?
I believe it is. Good velocity, throwing BBs. There's a breaking pitch for a strike and an out.
And that's the first out of the inning.
So we're here in lovely Farnham Park. A lot of kudos here to our groundskeepers. A great facility for both baseball and softball. For those of you looking from afar, like to come out to set up a tournament, set up an activity of baseball or softball, please inquire. It's 4 fields, plenty of space, good cafe, good food, and a great atmosphere.
Tobias Warner, an Austrian lad, is up at plate. Took the first pitch swinging, took a second pitch a strike. He's kind of going to have to protect here with a runner on first and 1 out. Now, Jerry, with the score in this situation, why wouldn't the runner be running for stealing from first to second?
I believe they just don't want to pile it on here, and effectively they're trying to play a little bit more conservative, give the batters the opportunity to try to advance them, get more batters in. If they catch the runner, that's one less batter, so giving every opportunity to see the batters at play.
I agree with you 100%. They're down by 4. There's no point in risking the out.
High and inside there, and ball gets away from the second baseman. However, their shortstop's backing up. Good fundamental baseball there for everyone watching. Middle infielders should always be communicating who's covering. In addition, who's backing up the throw to the pitcher in case that situation arises.
It's a good point, Jerry, because the ball is live at all times, so somebody has to be tracking that ball no matter where it goes. So
and there's a fastball high and outside for a ball. So we've got runners at first and second. And that brings up
Rundrick Pitronella. Now here's a great example. The runner wasn't running. They managed to get a walk, and now one of their power hitters are up. And, he might be able to tie the game in one swing. So there's a little bit of strategy here from the Reds, trying to leave themselves where the big power guys might be able to make an impact on the game.
And the infield playing back. So playing the batter here. And there's ball number 1, high and outside.
My experience with the Spanish pitchers is they like to challenge the hitters. So I like to see that. I think Pitronella is going to get a fastball, and he looks like a fastball hitter, Jerry.
And our pitcher here is get me the ball and let me throw. And as you can see, this timing is under 8 seconds from the time he steps on that rubber and he delivers. Really quick pitcher.
Yeah. Now look, there's one out, and if you look who's on deck, it's Marek Schlupp, the young man who plays Czech kid, who plays for NC State. So the Grays have got to watch themselves.
There's a strike fastball. So our pitcher here being very challenging to this batter with 2 runners on. Big Reggie Jackson swing there, Anthony.
I like that, boy. He knew he was going to get a fastball, and he was lining up, going for it, and hats off to the pitcher. Sneaky fast, got it past him. The question is what happens next, right? The batter had a strike to give, and he gave it. Can the pitcher do it again?
So our pitcher's on the mound here, and there's a breaking pitch. Fantastic pitch for strike number 3. Fooled the batter as he took a big swing but missed.
Outstanding. That's a real nice, high-quality breaking pitch, and great poise. Great poise. Look at this. And the bat at the end. Wow.
Right over the top on that breaking pitch. 2-seam curveball.
Right. So now we have another battle, right? No rest for the wicked here. You got a good fastball hitter and a good fastball pitcher, and no doubt this hitter's looking fastball, Jerry.
And our first pitch is a fastball, foul ball.
Ooh, didn't miss by much.
Tell you what, the wind's blowing out a little bit here.
What's going to be interesting to see here, he's gone fastball on the first pitch. Does he go fastball again, or does he look to spin a ball to keep him off balance?
And as we return back to the action, pitcher gets the ball, throws it down the plate, and strike number 2.
There we go, through the off-speed pitch.
So let's see how quick this pitcher pitches here, and our batters have to be ready as the pitcher takes the rubber and now looks in for the sign. He's coming into a set position, looks over at second, and here's our pitch.
And
big
3.
swing for strike number 3, so 2 strikeouts back to back.
Outstanding.
What was your club team?
So I played for Richmond.
Okay.
Yeah, started there, moved to Essex Arrows, and yeah, played there last season before I went to college.
And what attracted you to baseball?
I think it was just the hardest sport I've ever played. You know, I played football and pretty much everything in between growing up. Kind of always had like a natural ability. Tried baseball and I was absolutely terrible at it. And yeah, I think that's what drew me towards it.
Well, on behalf of the British baseball community, I can't tell you enough. You are a great example of what our national team should be representative of. A great skill set, but more importantly, just a good person, Ollie. All your teammates have very good things to say about you, as well as the coaches, and we're very proud that you're part of the British national baseball team. We wish you all the luck this afternoon, and we'll be following your career as you go back in August to the United States. Keep in touch, and good luck to this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
So as we see the action here, we've got a attempted steal at second. And we got him out. Let's try to see that replay there. Coming up here. And there's the pitch, and there's the steal attempt. Looked like it was a hit and run as the runner was looking back at the batter, slowing down. And he got caught at second. So there may have been a miss signal there, Anthony.
I think you're right. And that'll be no doubt be addressed by the coaches once the batter, Mr. Trump, is in the is back in the dugout. But in the meantime, last of the ninth, under normal conditions, the red team, rather the gray team, wouldn't bat. But in this type of tournament, they want the pitchers to get their work. And while the game is technically over, they're going to get their 3 outs and get a few extra at-bats as they go. Jerry, really something for Ollie Thompson to have progressed as far as he's progressed, only starting the game at 16, only doing it for 2 or 3 years. And he's absolutely right in terms of how difficult it is from a skill perspective. And his growth has been simply, it's been amazing.
Both physically, emotionally, intelligence. He's really, really a good credit for British baseball. And like I said, we're very proud of him. And there's an attempted play at second. However, the runner gets advanced to third base. And we're trying to get a call of what happened. No, he's out at second base. There was a force out. My mistake. Error number 4 on the broadcaster. And there's Anthony giggling in the background.
As long as he keeps making the mistakes, I can't. Marco Iberli up for the Grays.
And it looks like they're actually warming up another broadcaster there in the pen. They're ready to do the hook on me there. And there's a ground ball second baseman. And he bobbles it. Runner at first advances past second. And he's going to play at third. He's out.
And that, I think, is the ball game.
And that is the ball game, is it?
That is.
Yep. And the end of this game comes to Team Red 2 and Team Gray 6.
Great event today, Jerry. You know, you had good quality, good sportsmanship, lots of guys working on lots of things, and just overall getting better and better as the game went along.